Scott Tranter runs Decision Desk HQ, our polling and election partner, with us now. Where is the delta, if you will?
Well, the delta is kind of where these state legislatures are. I mean, you know, as you noted in your package, it's relatively consistent across America. 70% of the people think it's between woman and her doctor. State legislatures are different, and that's probably where the next battleground is going to be, depending on how this decision comes out of the Supreme Court. I think your guest kind of made it on the previous segment. This is going to be a huge battleground issue, a huge moneymaker for political campaigns and political PACs, and it's going to be where the fight's going to be in 2022 and 2024, as you know, they fight in these state ledges and these state AGs and governors' races.
Yesterday, I was on air and we did not have the value of your expertise, so I had to sub in for a minute and talk about things. And I said you can take all the polling and all the things we thought we knew about the midterms and do this to them, should the opinion hold of the Supreme Court. Was I overstating things?
No, not at all. I think, you know,
all the models are out the window.
All the models are out the window, and it might be slightly different from what you might think is, if we think of the amount of money and effort going into the midterms as a single unit or a single effort, I think all of a sudden people realize, does it really matter who controls the House or who controls the Senate? I really care about who controls my state house or who controls my state AG office. And so I think we're going to see a lot of money shift.
Yeah, I'm thinking Dave Avella at GoPac, and all of a sudden there's going to be this big interest in these down ballot races that typically you or I would not have cared much about. Think about the Ohio primary tonight for the Republicans. J.D. Vance, who's now gone to #1 with President Trump's endorsement. You'd think an issue like this would have big movement in the in the general election. Does it matter for a primary?
Not really. If we saw it matter in a primary, I might look to Pennsylvania here in a couple of weeks, which has a large portion of Catholic Republican voters. But in Ohio, this race was pretty much about who was more conservative, who was closer to Trump than the other guy. And to be honest, they all think the same thing on the pro-choice, pro-life debate. And so this really comes down to who's going to be the closest to Trump.
All right, you think about what Tim Ryan, possible Democratic nominee for the Ohio Senate seat, tweeted out. Tim Ryan, 37%, J.D. Vance, 36%. Only our choice to protect abortion is to flip this seat blue and expand our Democrat Senate majority. If you can, make a contribution. No surprise with the request for contribution. But we know Republican voters were motivated, clearly, we saw it in Tim Alberta's data, in 2016 by the Supreme Court. Is there any data to support that Democratic voters will be motivated by the court in these swing states?
I don't have any data now, but if I were a betting person, I bet that we're going to see the data after the Q2 and Q3 FEC reports, when we see a lot of money flow into some of these candidates who champion the Supreme Court and this issue as their #1 reason for running. In other words, I think the data is coming.
Yeah, that data is coming, and the data on Ohio is coming. We know it's going to be a late night for you and your compatriots at Decision Desk HQ on the Ohio call, and we'll stand by for that. Scott, thank you very much. Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.